From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, October 31st, 2014. Silver is trading at $16.52 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,202 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $347. Antiwar.com reports a U.S. drone strike leveled a home in the village of Nargasi in South Waziristan, killing 6 people within, including one who officials identified as a Haqqani network leader. None of the other slain have been identified specifically, though Pakistani officials labeled the rest as militants, including 4 foreigners. 2 were said to be from Saudi Arabia. The attack is the 16th U.S. drone strike against Pakistan's tribal area this year, and while Pakistani officials were previously mobbed on the latest increases in the strikes, the Foreign Ministry yesterday offered a criticism, pointing out that the Pakistani military is already taking actions against the militants in those agencies. Tasneem Aslam, the spokeswoman for the Foreign Ministry, said that the attacks were unnecessary and needed to be stopped, which is still well short of the demands to end such attacks which Pakistani officials were making at the start of the year. Still, that comments are being made at all suggests that they are once again aware of the risked unrest, allowing the U.S. to continue the wildly unpopular drone campaign. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. Reuters reports Ukraine, Russia, and the European Union signed a deal on Thursday that will see Moscow resume vital supplies of gas to its ex-Soviet neighbor over the winter in return for payments funded in part by Kiev's Western creditors. After several failed rounds of talks in recent weeks, as conflict rumbles on, despite a ceasefire with rebels in eastern Ukraine, the accord also eases concerns that the new gas war could disrupt winter supplies if energy to EU states, notably through pipelines shut down across Ukraine since June. EU Energy Commissioner Gunther Oettinger said he saw in the agreement a first glimmer of détente between Moscow and Kiev in a conflict that has plunged East-West relations into a chill not seen since the Cold War. Worth $4.6 billion in total, the package calls for Ukraine to pay $3.1 billion by the end of the year to cover debts for previous supplies from Russia's Gazprom, and Kiev will have $1.5 billion, some from existing accords with the EU and IMF, to pay for about 4 billion cubic meters of new gas until March, for which Russia is insisting on the cash up front. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for t-shirts, precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. The Associated Press reports a prisoner whose confession helped free a death row inmate in a case that was instrumental in ending capital punishment in Illinois was released on Thursday after he recanted, and a prosecutor said there was powerful evidence that the other man was responsible. Alstory Simon's confession gained international attention in 1999, largely because of an investigation by a journalism professor and a team of students from Northwestern University that helped secure Anthony Porter's release just days before he was to be executed. He had spent 16 years on death row for slayings he and his supporters maintained he did not commit. Because of constitutional protections against double jeopardy, there is no legal way to retry Porter. Simon, wearing a gray hoodie and jeans, told reporters outside Jacksonville Correctional Center that he was angry. He was crying as he told reporters, "I'm not angry at the system, I'm angry at the people who did what they did to me." He said that his mother died while he was behind bars. Simon was convicted and sentenced to 37 years in prison, but the state attorney's office for Cook County began re-examining his conviction last year after his attorney presented evidence that he had been threatened with the death penalty and coerced into confessing with promises that he would get an early release and share in the profits from books and movie deals. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.